Well, there are a couple of different reasons. One, I'm an actor, and so unfortunately, the way the business is, I have to look my best.
Right now I work in retail, fashion. I wardrobe people.
And the makeup trailer is full of bright lights shining on the top of your head, and if you have any problem there, any thinness at all, or bald spots, they're going to see it.
How somebody looks is based on how your confidence is, though, right? So if I'm confident, then I look great. And if I look great and I'm confident, then I can sell anything I want to sell. And just kind of comes across. And that's what people want when they see you. They just want confidence.
I would have to broach the subject with the makeup people. Can you do something? Can you make sure that my hair doesn't look too thin? And then after a while, could you put something in there like makeup? And then after a while, could you sprinkle some of that fake hair on my head? It was embarrassing.
When it comes to women and their hair and just being, your hair's falling out, you really see it because you just feel awful about yourself. So
I was thinking maybe I'll shave my head because that's the sort of thing that's kind of in fashion, and I could be an actor with a bald head and that would be okay. But that was a bit extreme because I've always liked my hair.
Looks are important to me.
I wondered about that. Am I going completely bald? And I worried about that because I'm not a young man, but I'm certainly not to the stage where I don't care about how I look.
It can start very young in life. A person can be under a lot of stress in high school because of examinations, and it can happen in later stages in life as well.
Well, my hair was starting to thin out on the top of my head. It had never done that before in my entire life.
So it was about 3 years ago I noticed that I was losing a lot of hair, and it was kind of like, what is going on? I didn't know what was happening, and I went to my doctor and he said, oh, really don't worry about it, I don't think it's that bad. And it was that bad. Most
of the men in my family have really fine hair, and it just got thinner and thinner, and it became a problem for me. My father, his hair got so thin that I wouldn't call him bald, but you could definitely see it was like translucence over the top of his head. His head was really, it was quite apparent, all the details of it.
You're supposed to lose, what, 100 strands of hair a day? It wasn't like 100 strands of hair a day. It was, I could put my hand through my hair, and it was coming out in clumps.
Who wants their hair to fall out? Nobody.
And the worst thing was that my hair was thick on the front and then on the back, but there was this little wedge in the middle there that was starting to thin out, so I was worried that I was going to have this little island on my head. 2 summers ago I went to a wig store with my sister-in-law, and while I was in there, the lady that ran the wig store asked me how many chemotherapy treatments I'd had. And I hadn't had any, of course. And so when she said that to me, it was kind of like, oh my goodness, this is really thin. Like, people are really noticing and they think I'm ill. And I didn't want them to think I was ill. I realize how difficult it is to be a person who's losing their hair. There are women, I'm sure you've seen a lot of them, there are women that are, younger, older, whatever, whose hair is really fine and it's almost transparent. And when I see those women now, I think you have an option. And it must be so difficult because guys get bald, but when women get bald or thinning, it must be very difficult to feel really secure.
I notice a lot of women my age, their hair is thinning. I notice it. I mean, mine thinned on the top, but I notice that their hair is thinning all over. I'm not sure exactly why, but I see more and more women seem to be losing hair, whereas before it seemed to be more the guys that were losing the hair.
Many, many women have hair loss. Female pattern baldness does not follow the same steps as male pattern baldness. In other words, when females lose their hair, it's not so much in one place as all over. In other words, it'll start shedding, if you like, in all areas of the head.
Well, in women, probably the greatest cause of hair loss would be health issues. Lots around health. I think for me that was part of it, was just not being really healthy at the time.
I was just tired all the time. And then the next thing I know, my hair was shedding slowly at first, and then I was getting handfuls. And then I thought, oh my God, something is truly wrong with me.
It's not weird that you're losing hair as a woman. It happens to many, many people. There are many factors that factor into the reasons why people begin to lose hair. It could be as simple as improper nutrition. It could be the hair products that you're using, or it could be the amount of stress that you have in your life. Feel good about yourself.
I feel youthful,
Living, real.
Energized.
inspired,
Life-changing.
Feels great.
fantastic.
Results happen. Well, actually, I went through a year of going through regular doctors and really being stressed out, really being worried, and everybody giving me the runaround.
I want to be just seen as who I am. I didn't want people to look at me and think, oh, she doesn't have very much hair, I wonder what's going on. I don't want that kind of attention, so it was just like, I think I have to do something.
I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to have any kind of plugs or like surgery. I wasn't interested in that, and I just felt weird. I felt wrong, I guess, about doing anything because it didn't seem natural. When my hair was thinning, before I started this process, it was a confidence thing. I didn't feel as confident. I didn't feel as sexy.
I really didn't want to go out. I didn't go out at all for that time. Basically, I stayed home a lot. I was miserable. I came across on my face. I was stressed out. I was worried. I was really down.
I didn't feel like a strong, vital, virile man. I was losing my confidence. I was worried about going out on dates. I would actually avoid it, and sometimes I'd isolate.
Because you lose your confidence. You don't want to go out, and like I said, you just don't feel good about yourself.
I was worried. I was worried about going out on dates. I was worried about meeting women. I was worried even around my friends sometimes.
During that time, I didn't do the whole dating scene and stuff like that. And when you start feeling good about yourself, and that's, for me, got to do with confidence, and being a woman got to do with your hair, every aspect of your life goes up. And that part too.
Natural healing, physical healing.
Natural.
Natural.
It's very natural.
Natural.
Holistic.
It's a natural alternative.
Every time I'd look